run it through our Fusion middleware system, and provide different algorithms, right, to be able to show this calculated stability index either from a regional level or at the country level here. Okay, so at the top we can select which region. Now we have the 4 countries here: Philippines, Indonesia, Republic of China, and Thailand, right? Or we can drill down into individual specific countries. But here as a whole, right, the algorithm that we've created said now for this region we have this 63.2 number from a stability index perspective. But that holistic number, right, we have to drill down on that. So in the model that we created with PKSOI, all based on doctrine, right, we've created these subcategories. Currently we have 2 of them: the sustainable economy and stable governance. Now, and this will expand over time, right, where, for example, the rule of law, right, where we can start taking that high stability number and creating these categories here. And that's what is shown here on these 2 numbers, right? Now, let's keep drilling down into this, right? So inside of each one of these categories, we have detailed variables, right, that ultimately roll up to feed that, right? That's part of these algorithms, right, in this fusion that we put together here. Also, what's important here is actually to see the trend changing over time. In this case, right, we can see the different trends specifically over time as they're going up. On the far right-hand side, we're bringing in feeds. As Paul mentioned, these are news feeds, but we can pull in, right? These can be documents, right? It could be message traffic. It can be whatever we seem fit that we can process here. And that relevant information is always shown on the right-hand side. Now we can drill down onto a specific country, right? I select the Philippines here. The Esri map will put the stability index on the left-hand side. Okay, and now if you notice, these numbers are recalculating, right? So we have a stability index. Looks like the stability of the Philippines has risen over the past 4 months, right? And we can see these numbers start coming to light. And it's a interactive experience where we can start hiding and showing these trends. Again, the thing with trends to remember, okay, is we're looking, right, is something increasing, going up and to the right? Is something flatlined, right, or decreasing, going to the lower left, right? And so we provide this both at this holistic level. We're again at the region, okay, at the COCOM level. We can drill down into specific countries. And we also give you the ability now to look at this from a category. Remember those, we have the holistic stability index, and then we have the various subcategories, in this case, sustainable economy and stable governance. And we can start comparing those at the category level, right? Country to country, okay? But probably the most important thing here, and Keith, I'm sensitive to you, 3 minutes left, is this, we really want to be able to provide indicators and warnings, right? So what, right? We have all this data coming in from a news source perspective, right? What do we have to look at, right, for further investigation and analysis and verification, right? So this detail tab, I hope your eye immediately went to this negative 14% decline, right, in this category of support private sector and investment program, right? So that should be a flag to say we want to investigate more about that. So what happens is if I can come up and select that category here for support private sector investment. When I do that, the articles on the right-hand side, right, will filter, or again, these could be any type of data source, and we can open that. And if I open up one of these, I can do searches, right, on that information. If I open up, right, it'll bring up, right, the article or document, right, for further analysis, right, and review. But the point here, right, is really want to make is that this provides this early warning indicator, right, both on the negative, right, hopefully that grabs your attention here, but also on the positive side. Tony, you have 2 minutes left. I'll flip it to you over to this.
All right, great. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to fly through this really quickly, but the point of this is everything up to this point, we decided to start on a doctrinal base from JP 3.07 and 3000.05 and put PKSOI as saying, hey, we're going to drive doctrine as the beginning, but already the director of PKSY is saying, wow, now that we're doing this, we see we might need to look at some adjustments as well. And so we're going to drive this, and it's an interactive piece with algorithms. But specifically, when your entity, when we first started this, said, hey, I'm also interested in the economy. What's going to be instability? What causes instability? So I actually built this model where I started looking at shadow economies, digital currency for illicit trade, gambling, criminal organizations, everything. Why is all this important? Well, the reason it's all important is because in the current plan with the China, as you guys know, without getting anything classification, one of the biggest pieces is that the NSC is looking for an estimate from INDOPACOM on the should certain economic factors and sanctions happen, what is the outcome in the predictive analysis? So we're actually looking at these underlying things for the negative economy as well. So I actually built this model, which is not part of the overall index, just for you guys. And we'll go in detail later. I can tell you how we came about it. But it's showing that we can add this. We're not stuck on a stability index, which is just set in stone. We can actually move this through. And of course, you just switch over to the digital economy. We actually have, we're with other people that we collaborate with, every movement of digital currency globally from every wallet and all 28 blockchains. And to match up what the IP address is, everything. I mean, we're tracking the illicit, what's on the sanction list, Department of Treasury, FinCEN.
You're also tracking the SOEs was one of the big things that SOCPAC is looking at. So we have a big drive. If we were to look at this model back in Minsky, Keith, you guys could actually see some of the SOEs that we pulled out of all that media.
Yeah, no, that's great. So really, given some of the other Esri visual tools there, it'd be pretty cool if since you have the data, to see what the global economic and logistics effect would be should China invade Taiwan versus as well as the sanction stuff. But that way, that kind of puts it out as a little bit more serious of an issue, and then regional effects. But I'm going to step off. Hank and Riel are to be in this program brief with me, but they'll stay on for the next couple of for about 15 minutes. Gentlemen, thanks again for your time. Cannot thank you enough. This is goodness. And then Rick, I'll get with you offline, because again, we didn't get to like the way ahead and then what's doing what, right? And then we gotta make sure you guys get looped in with your CA contact. We gotta get the USASOC CA guys to talk to the SOCOM CA guys.
They're on board. They've signed a letter, endorsement letter, and they're on board with us.
Right, but what we need to do is we need to be able to get that over to the SOCOM J24 IDST. We got to start talking Fade Mist integration. I got to see where these guys are at when their FedRAMP process, because we have another tool that does cloud-based web hosting services, and we're almost done with FedRAMP for IL5, right? So then we may be able to marry some stuff up to get where we want to go faster, right? Because with y'all's parceling, and then there's just some other potentials and possibilities that I got to sit down and think about. It's not going to happen right now. But again, appreciate a lot of y'all's time. Fantastic.
Hey, by the way, Keith, real quick, I am working some SA stuff with J24 GSO on some other things too. And so later on we can collaborate on that.
Okay, we'll need to have like a separate offshoot of like where are we going ahead, right? And then what are we doing? Get Big Safari involved, stuff like that. Okay.
Hey, which admiral are you briefing, by the way? Or Pappy?
JW.
Oh, I thought it was Pappy.
Yeah,
Paparo?
Yeah, no, Paparo. Yeah, Paparo. No, he's over at Pack Fleet.
I was gonna have you give him a message for me, but
a little slap and tickle. Got it.
Yeah.
One slap and tickle on the way. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have a great afternoon.
So let me just transition this to Hank and Riel. Go back to the days of doing BPC and foreign military sales. So we're not there yet, but what we want to be able to do is say, hey, what is it in sustainable economy? If you would just open some of this up as I'll talk to Scott, like for the Philippines, sustainable economy, where are their gaps at? Then we want to say, well, where's China at? What's China doing inside of there for sustainable economy? And that's when we're going to go into the Minsky and look at the graphs. Well, eventually we're going to need to be in one platform because you're going to be in a TOC or a COP somewhere. And so Esri has new software out that has graphs on the left. Now they're not as good and as powerful as advanced graphing that's out there, like Paul and his Demetrics team showing, but it does some basic graphing. And so between the Minsky capabilities and the Esri, we want to be able to go and show the gaps like, hey, well, Philippines got a lot of China help on economics, ports and energy. What are we doing there? And so we're talking about build partner capacity. Well, let me go back. We're talking about great power competition, stability. So where's China at versus where should we be at? Where's the opportunities? So maybe that foreign military sales that we're spending or the State Department or USAID funds can be better focused in on things that we're identifying off the gaps. Oh, you can keep that up, Scott. That's fine. But
yeah,
but we want to get to the data, right?
No, you're absolutely correct. You know, the gaps are what, you know, we're pretty good at, you know, here on this side of our small little SoftBank spectrum. Sometimes, you know, as you know, when we all used to sit in the three, everything that we were focused on is where, you know, we thought, you know, the enemy would be working, you know. On this side of the house, you know, we're more on the peripherals, you know, and the peripherals are kind of important to us, you know. On a sidebar, we really should talk about that later on here in the future with our full foreign military sales, you know, and build partner capacity. I think you're absolutely spot on. Where we were at before in the 3 shop, we are now doing the same here in the 2 shop, you know, and as far as capabilities are concerned, as far as TalkBack is concerned, we are kind of taking that on, you know, with all these new innovations and new capabilities being pushed out. Real will run security cooperation side of the house here in the 2 shop, and I will run the operations side, you know, by depending on where you are with your FedRAMP, you know, will really determine, you know, how we can employ this into exercise for additional testing, if that's even viable on your side of the house. Over.
Well, so let's get one thing straight. Minsky is going through FedRAMP right now. Esri is already FedRAMP. Esri is already in your talk.
And
So
Minsky is supposed to be certified by sometime in Q3 of this year.
Okay, where is which aisle is Minsky in then?
First, it will be at aisle 4, and then our existing clients want to put it on aisle 5 and on JBIX.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you.
But at least we can get it to 4 for this group of data, right? Now, my request here is to go back to Riel, right? When we used to work TSCAP stuff, you know, and then you were looking at foreign military sales. What should we incorporate from your brain to say, hey, I need to know these things that kind of pertain to these categories or categories different, similar, related, so we can say, hey, let's look at the data and see if it exists and how we can get a better view of anticipating where we might want to do our security cooperation better.
Yeah, if you can give us a little bit to digest what you gave us here this morning, we can probably give you a better answer next week.
Yeah.
With 10,000 pokers, you know, we have in the fire right now, we're kind of running amok. And this is
hey, we're moving forward, Hank. So we're going to continue on. We got a bunch more models that are being built as we speak this week and next week. We're going to bring in water. We're going to bring in joint force capability, so open source joint force comments and stuff like that. We're bringing in some other variables for social well-being in these population centers and other stuff that's all out of JP 3.07 with some added features. But what we need to do is get to exercise demonstration and demonstrate this to people on the ground and say, hey, well, now we get feedback, and that's where we're going to come out of that and make it even better. So Indonesia and that exercise is going to be a big deal for us if you guys get that finalized for us.
Yep. So for the Indo piece, what I'll do is I'll introduce you to Ryan Rosenthal. He's going to be leading this our effort in Indo, which Keith had already mentioned, this new capability that we're trying to get through the FedRAMP process right now. You know, we're right now at IL3, and we should be complete real soon.
Safari?
No, it's kernels.
Chronos.
Yeah. Well, we need to show this to you folks, and all the info and all the intel that we're pulling from this capability can be showcased right in, you know, as I'm looking at this screen right now. You know, now we're doing it right now, and we're running this aircraft and its capabilities in theater right now, and we're showcasing it inside of SOCPAC proper in the 33 side of the house.
Okay.
This week, however, we're doing something a little bit different with PACOM. So this thing is kind of blowing up out of control. And if we're going to measure effectiveness, you know, of that capability, I think this tool right here might be able to do that, you know, which, you know, Keith is, you know, sitting here shaking his head, listening to me and talking
Yeah.
as I'm running my mouth.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad
I would just add one other thing for your guys' understanding, that none of it is frozen the minute that Rick and the team give to you. The whole point is that if you down the line want to add models, want to tweak them, etc., it just takes a few clicks, and then
yes.
it is reflective of your understanding. So it's not like, here is our view of transportation infrastructure and that's it, live with it.
Now we can put Riel in there, and Riel can get in there and make some stuff and then improve the training on it to make it better.
Yep. So, you know, we can definitely start on the exercise side of the house as a crawl, walk, run. And from exercise, Rick, we would move quickly into ops. You know, the good thing about us here in the 2 shop, you know, is that we have support from Ed Crute, you know, over in the 3 shop, you know, and he's allowing us to kind of run, but we're running quick, like really, really fast, you know, and so we're trying not to get ahead, you know, of the headlights here. We're trying to slow down just a little bit to pick up additional capabilities so that we can run together. You know, PACOM is catching up with us now, which is making us run faster. You know, and all we're trying to do is get ahead of PACOM. You know, so we have a couple of hot irons, pokers, you know, in the fire right now. We have to jump over to this meeting with J-Dub, kind of get that out of the way. And then I need 2 things from you, Rick, please. I need to know when your next testing is going to be. You said that you were going to demo for someone here real soon.
We're giving another demo similar to this to AFRICOM and EUCOM folks. They are out of the 9 shop over there. And then after that, the test and experimentation that we've been building to is an exercise in Indo-PACOM, and that's what Indonesia will be.
Okay. If you can send me the 5 Ws to that, we may want to chime in on that and just to watch the demo so that our time is a little bit more efficient. And then next, I'm going to introduce you to Ryan Rosenthal, the lead for Garuda Shield. Okay. And he's going to help us get this thing up and running in Indo. Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Hey, can I say one thing before you sign off?
Yes, sir.
Hey, one thing just to keep in mind is I was dealing with the NSC on a couple issues, and when it comes to the China piece, one thing that they're asking Indo-PACOM for is when they build their assessments and in that wargaming scenario, and a lot of it deals with the civil side. It's how quickly we can incorporate our NRHC partnerships and push and pull that info. So the collaboration piece. So as you guys move forward, just that's one thing I want to put out there too is everything that we do, we got to make sure in that mindset, that NRHC fight and how we push and pull data to those instruments of national power. So just give you a heads up with that.
We're going to quickly move from Indonesia, you know, which is still kind of sensitive to us. You know, getting the aircraft into that theater or into that country was a little bit of a challenge, but after we got through the first milestones, we were invited in, time after time after time after time again. But on the operational side, the country that I'm thinking of is going to be IA all day, every day. And that's going to be on the ops side of the house. So we'll keep those two countries separated just for now until we develop the capability and get it into the FedRAMP process, and make its way all the way over past aisle 5. And then we need to sit down with the IAs in that country, and Rick knows exactly which country I'm talking about, and then continue to develop it with our own capabilities in theater. So we're tied in really close with and good relations with our IAs in that country, and I think this tool right here. Shucks, Rick, I wish we would have talked last week about this. I'm really, really sorry. I know, because everything that we did last week should have been, more focused on this piece right here. Everything.
Hey, by the way, the 4 countries we got in here is Brunei, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia.
You are spot on with those countries right now. Spot on with those countries right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And again,
it says Republic of China. I thought we had Brunei in there. I don't. Anyway.
Yep. Go ahead and dump Brunei in there. That's one of our exercise countries right now. We're showcasing capes here in the first week of June in Brunei, and that's kind of big for us. It's big for us, as an additional.
Hank, I got to be honest. I mean, the only reason I got that is, I do have background in there, but Riel's been keeping me in the loop on stuff. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's your secret spy, our secret spy.
He's my brother.
Yep. So not much has changed for us here in the shop, Rick. All we did was move from the 3 to the 2.
Tell Crude I said hello, and we've been.
I sure will. Yep, I sure will. He's letting us run. We're just trying not to outrun him. He's working on the ops side of the house, and he's very, very quick.
He's the 3 out there, Tony. He came from JSOC 3.
What's his name?
Ed Crute.
Huh. Yep, he just left not too long ago. He was under Fenton, when
I know
Fenton.
I know Fenton. Yeah. I saw him last week.
Yeah. So he's been avoiding me.
It all comes from this. This is what we were out there every day.
Yeah, roger that. All right, good deal. Hey, lots of apologies for last week and the week before.
That's all right.
We've been kind of running amok here, and now that we're back on Hawaii for a little bit, if you could please just give us a little bit of time to look at this. But I definitely want to get you guys into Indo. That's going to be my next step. Okay, Rick?
Yeah, Hank, what I would submit to you is on that request, you said the 5 Ws. I'll send those to you for the 24th. That's going to be for AFRICOM, EUCOM, and it's just a couple of guys from the 9 shops getting on. You're going to see almost what you got here, but we'll have more time. You get to ask more questions. So you guys want to piggyback on that. That's what I hear.
Yep, I sure do. And I will send you the 5 Ws for Garuda Shield, and I'll get you in touch with Ryan Rosenthal.
Yeah, can we get in with personal civilian passports?
Yes, you can. We fly on blue passports all the time.
Nice.
Okay.
And just to be clear, Hank, if there is someone, you included, that wants to get a taste of what all of this really means, then happy to onboard you, show you stuff.
Yep. Once we bring in the 2-4 at SOCOM, we're going to bring in Mr. Kevin Pitts from the PACOM GSG. And once Kevin gets a little bit of a taste of this, it's going to spread throughout the floor at SOCOM's 33.
Yeah, he's
good. And also happy to set you up to talk on the high side with our clients, so you don't trust us. Talk directly to the users.
No, if I have any questions, definitely, Rick will push it out to us. Rick's been, a trusted agent for a long time, here in the AOR, even though he is getting a little bit bigger, because of his old age, and
I'm getting skinny. What the hell are you talking about? 219, bro. That's like 30 pounds lighter.
Whoa.
But anyway, hey, with that being said, yeah, let's get focused on the exercise because that will take some coordination and planning and costing and all that. Then, yeah, any feedback, you guys, even if it's just you guys texting me some feedback, we need that because we want to make this stronger and better for the user.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you'll see the 5 Ws here in about 5 minutes. Okay, Rick?
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, thanks,
Hank.
Hank.
See
Appreciate
you,
all the
Hank.
work getting
Okay,
everybody on.
all right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Hey, good job, guys.